Sometimes, when the world is crazy, the best one can do is smoke a joint. The inhalation and the hold provides some relaxation. And as we get centered into the marijuana buzz, what really matters in life? We must ask ourselves these questions. What really matters? How important is it really? Things like, is this good for my brain or bad for my brain? Good for my health or bad for my health? Towards the goal or away from the goal? Simple questions. But we find ourselves not slowing down enough in today's society to ask ourselves these simple questions. So I recommend get a friend and smoke some weed. And avoid. And then when you become sober and present, you realize that the world is completely fucking crazy. Yeah. Does that relax you at all, or are you just like waiting for me to finish?
Is this on?
I can hear you. Yeah. Oh yeah, you sound good.
Major League Baseball's back.
Oh yeah. And also, what about March Madness, man? The basketball.
March Madness. March is an interesting month, and where I come from, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb.
Well, I gotta fix my hair for Anita. She's saying nice hair. She's definitely not talking to you. Yeah, you're kind of a sports guy, and this is not a sports show, but we do touch on things that we're really not about. And I tend to lean toward a more of a spiritual direction, and you're more of a sports guy. You're like the rah-rah guy. I mean, you're sensitive, don't get me wrong, but
I'm really not a rah-rah guy. I like sports though. You don't like sports?
I do like sports.
You like football. I enjoy watching football.
But right? I don't get into, like, you're very good with stats and knowing all the players. And hello, Patrick. Let's say hello to Patrick and Anita for a moment.
Hey,
Anita,
Patrick. Hello, Anita.
I already tipped my hat to you by fixing my hair for you. Yeah, it's wake up hair. Going back to sports. So I'm not one to get into all the stats and know all the players. And, when I was younger, I was more into, I was a fan, right? So I knew people. But, like, now, I enjoy football. I enjoy, most sports for me, though. I like the end, right? The playoffs, the finals. That's more my thing, man. Maybe I'm a fair weather sports fan now, I guess.
I don't know. I think the majority of people like like playoff time, championship time. It's very exciting, right? Some people would argue like the football season is like the perfect season because it's just a certain short number of games, 16 games, and then it goes into the playoffs, right? Like Major League Baseball is 80, 81, 82 home games. It's 162 games a year. That is a long season, right?
A long season. And what do you think?
Every other day, you can watch a game every day. We have that. It's no secret. I'm from Milwaukee originally, and I can't see a lot of my Milwaukee Brewer, my hometown.
You can't get the package. Is there a package?
Well, yeah, you have to get the package, right?
So you can see it.
But that's what I was going to. You can't watch it on regular television or even on cable all that frequently. So you have to go for a package, and with that package actually comes like every game of the Major League Baseball season. So I find myself watching my New York Yankees.
I was going to say that. I love that you're talking about the Brewers and you're sitting there with a Yankee shirt on.
Always been a Yankee fan.
So let me ask you this. Let's bring this down from the superficial level of sports fandism or fandom. And
is it superficial?
No. It's not superficial. That could be. I'm just using that as a word. Like there's a superficiality to all things in life, right? I want to just go a little bit deeper on it. Okay, I'm not saying it is superficial to be a sports fan. I'm just saying that's that level. So then we go below it.
Going deep here. Mm-hmm.
Well, is it okay if we go deep?
Let's go deep, baby.
Okay, baby, bend over. Okay, so what do you think? What do you know? What do you think you know? What is it about sports that is so compelling? And the first level of it, which would kind of go to our first part of the conversation, go ahead and answer that question. I think we agree on this.
What do I find so compelling about sports?
Yeah.
The drama.
The drama of the game or the players' lives?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Well, no, I'm not talking about personality-wise.
Yeah.
I like the drama in the game. You know, a good game has
Or
all
match.
sorts. Yeah, or a good game has all sorts of characteristics to say a franchised film. You know, it's got good guys, it's got bad guys, it's got both working to find the prize. Both teams are in theory battling it out to win the game. So
To win.
but like I think did you play sports as a kid?
I did. Of course. Yeah.
I don't know. I could never tell by the way you dress, but like the reality is.
Did you wear a helmet? Did they make a helmet for that head of yours?
They made me because it hit so many things when I walk around.
They invented the helmet because you were playing flag football, tackle football in the neighborhood. No. Okay, so the competitive nature, the winning, but what about I can't help but think of the movie Seabiscuit, right? And I cry in that film. I've seen it a million times and I still cry. But this triumphant, you're the obstacle, the challenge, and the overcoming, right? But these people that play professional sports and also amateur sports going on, the training involved, the dedication, the devotion, the team spirit, right? There's that piece too.
No different than the 10,000 hours you spent trying to learn how to play guitar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people recognize that as much, but it's also let's transition to music.
That being said, not everybody can be Eric Clapton, right? Not everybody is born to be Carlos Santana, but that doesn't take anything away from you, my friend, that knows how to play bar chords. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't take anything away from it, right? Like I'm being silly as I'm making the comparison, but listen, if you happen to be Eddie Van Halen in your lifetime, it was just the thing that you were touched by at birth, that you were given this unique ability to be different than everybody else. Yet, you know what I mean?
Okay, let's go to another part of it. What about the camaraderie in the crowd? You go to a sports game, and you got 50,000 people, or 30,000 people, or 20,000 people that are all from all different walks of life, and they escape. Kind of like that silly meditation in the beginning about smoking some pot to escape the reality of what's happening, right? We all need a break. But sports seems to do that. Now, you do have the team mentality on that. The other thing is music, right? What you and I
was going to say, the team
concerts,
the team vibe. I find, I played sports growing up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't. You probably couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell by your figure, yeah.
Right? Yeah, or my figure. Oh, we're gonna go to the low hanging fruit. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, okay, great. So
you started with the outfit.
Is it the same thing as talking about my figure?
Well, I just thought maybe I couldn't tell you were athletic. So,
okay. So what I find very interesting is the fact that being in a band is very similar to being on a sports team. Right? There's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of do or die that you do on stage together, right? Like you should know about that. When a project fails, you do that together. When a project succeeds, you do that together. And you know what? I've never really associated that directly to my involvement in music until this conversation. And I find it really unique that now I am looking at the love that I had being on a team as a kid. Yeah. Literally, I played organized baseball from 8 years old through high school, and I really wanted to play in college, but I injured my shoulder really bad. Probably also didn't have the skill to play in college. I would have been one of those guys that would have hustled his way onto the team and worked really, really, really hard and found a way to get onto a college, Division 5 team somewhere and not really played a ton, but I loved it. But I see a lot of similarities now that we're talking, and it's not like intellectually I didn't know that there were similarities between doing music and playing sports. But,
a little bit different though, in the sense that you're not like competing with other bands per se. The ego will tell you differently, but for not you, but in general, it will tell one differently. Say hi to Alex really quick for me, will you? Yeah, Alex. Yeah, hockey practice, awesome. Must be a good practice. Good
hi, Alex.
Him. Love the new look, he says. I guess that's my hair he's talking about. I'm not sure about what Patrick is talking about. I mean, why bring that in? Why bring that in right now? There's a soft spot.
He's just making a point. Who's Don Perico? I didn't know Don.
Yeah, David Perico, I think is who Patrick's referring to. but that's okay. We don't want to correct our guests on. So Anita, she's going to see Chadwick Johnson. Like again, Anita,
I'm going to see Chadwick tonight. I'll see you there, Anita.
very very
I'm
nice.
looking forward to that show. But back to your point about competition, I disagree a little bit. Like maybe I take it a little bit farther than other people. But like as a matter of fact, there's a competitive yacht rock band in Las Vegas tonight, and
There's a couple of them
tonight. No, there's tonight. There's one tonight. And I'm going at the House of Blues. I'm going to go see them after the Chadwick show. I bought a ticket to go over there as well too. So I think it's competitive, right? I want to.
I don't look at that, and like I share my experience, freely with artists that are coming up, and like I don't. If I smell, like I'm a human, right? So I feel jealousy, and I feel competitive, and I feel coveting because I don't want to lose some. But then on the flip side of it is the more I give away, the more abundant it is, and I think sharing leads and sharing contacts and helping other people, you can look at it that's a profession as well. You as a music manager know this. You're paid to do that. I don't want that commitment with somebody. I'm just going to give away all of my experience, strength and hope and reality. Sometimes the feedback I give isn't very inspirational because it hurts. People don't want to hear some of the reality of the business, but like I just give it away for free. That removes the competitive nature from me because I don't want to feel competitive. You are in a more competitive field. You've got such a hot ticket. You've got some gold with what what the Docksiders do. Thank God you're very good at what you guys do. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be in that realm. But the point is that that's a hot ticket, and a lot of bands are coming. You got something good when you have a lot of when you have competition. And I guess it is competition for you because you're trying to book those shows in those venues, but I don't like the way that makes me feel. Music is spiritual for me, and I want it to remain that way. That's what keeps me going. I'm trying to disconnect from the business side of it. You're hard on the business side of it. You have to be because you're climbing. You're trying to grow. You're not even close to your goals. You've achieved some amazing things in your career and in the Docksiders story, but you're not there. You want to go further, and I don't know if there's ever an end game for that. But in the meantime, you're going to go to that concert and you're not going to enjoy the music. If I know you, or I'm projecting my own stuff, you're going to sit there and you're going to look at all the things that they're not doing very well. You may see a few things they're doing well, but you're going to critique the sound, the look, the song selection, their delivery of the songs that they're reproducing. I mean, I imagine you're going to be pretty critical on it. And if you go see, what's the other band that plays at the other yacht rock band that plays at the Palms?
Yeah. I know who's talking about.
The Crew. Those guys, right. And I have never seen them. Aliante is bringing a yacht rock show to the showroom up there. I think in June they're coming in. It's a California band. I don't know the name of them. I forget what they called them. He told me about it. So there is competition in your area. I don't like to feel competitive. So that's where it's different. I think in sports, it is highly. That's what it is. You're training and working so hard to become this level of an athlete, and then team play, and then you're pitting these two amazing teams against each other to win the game. What's the win in music and doing what we're doing? Are we going behind people's backs and running different strategies and plays to try to get that venue when it's available? I mean, is that competition?
Well, it's funny you say that, right? Like, I went and saw all these bands that we talked about tonight before I even put the Docksiders together because, that's the research that I do, and I said I was going to do, my intellect and my experience taught me to do something different than what they did. Now you could argue that we're the same bands because we play the same songs, but I would challenge anybody to say that the Docksiders don't do it differently, and it's up for people to decide whether or not we do it better, equal, or worse than, and they can make their choice of who their favorite yacht rock band in the country is. That being said,
it's not about the music. Maybe it's about the personality of you and your wife.
Right.
And,
right. Yeah. It could be that too. But
the show in between the songs,
where it gets competitive, and I think where it gets a little funky is when you have a band like Yachtly Crew that copies our slogan. We were written up as America's favorite yacht rock band in a publication, so we decided to use that as our slogan.
Did you trademark it?
You can't trademark that. We learned.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. Yeah.
Wow. What about as a service mark?
We've service marked it. Yeah. But But
That's
they
protection, though. That's not necessarily
Listen,
competition.
check this out. Their slogan after ours became the nation's #1 yacht rock band, or the #1. They basically took our slogan and retooled it and used it theirs by
FYI,
changing instead
everybody,
of America's.
pause for a second. Everybody, there's a fire on Warm Springs at the overpass. I have no idea where that is, but don't go down Warm Springs. Don't know what that is. Okay, continue. Well, do you some people thrive in competition, so you might look for those things and it fires you up. It was funny.
Again, it shows me that they were paying attention to what the Docksiders were doing.
Yeah, flattering.
And listen, yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
So I just my practice is working really hard on watching the ego thought, and trying not to operate from there. I succumb to it all the time, right? We're all susceptible, but I don't like the way it makes me feel, right? I'm learning to choose situations and choose how I think about things in a way that feels good to me, and I don't know. I look at it as if I see a bunch of yacht rock bands, that to me, that's just market share. When I started my carpet cleaning company when I was 20 years old, I remember the phone book. We had Yellow Pages, and I opened up. There were 300 carpet cleaning companies in Las Vegas in 1990, and at first it kind of scared me. And my grandfather was like, "Oh, no, just do it better than all of them," and so I felt some competition with that, but I just went out and did the best work I could. You guys, you're the best best yacht rock band you can be. Every day you do things to improve it, and that's all you can do. I think it's a waste of energy. I mean, to go maybe I went to a lot of shows to get inspiration and see what to get to a level that they were at or whatever. But I just think putting your head down and doing what you love, and you'll prevail. You're going to go further that way. Choose wisely not to expend energy on some of those lower frequency feelings. That's all my whole thought is on that. Not saying not to do it, but be mindful about it. And this isn't just about what you and I are talking about. This is for everybody and everything in life. We slide into those things, and right now in our world, it's a little volatile, to say the least. Right? I mean,
what do you mean?
It's awesome. You don't have any clue about it. How does one achieve that? Ladies and gentlemen, before we came on today, my wife had sent me something about I don't know, Uranus and Jupiter and what do you call that
She's
stuff?
talking about my anus?
She was talking about your ass.
Your wife is talking about my anus?
Yeah. So basically, it's about Neptune and Aries and blah, blah, blah. I don't know where it went. I lost it. Holy crap. Neptune and Aries, the U.S. Civil War in 2025. It said many reputable astrologers are currently predicting great societal and political upheaval in the year 2025. That first sentence is funny to me. Do you have to read the planets to make that summary? I don't think so. That's because each one of the generational planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, I love Uranus, is entering a new sign within a relatively small window of time. Now, we could spend time going all through this, but there's a lot of astrologers and physicists that are hinting at this, and psychics, sorry, not physicists, but they're hinting at this. But the most detailed writing that she found on this is this link that she sent, and I was reading a lot about it. And if you go back to the Civil War, if you go back to World War II, you look at some of these things don't happen for hundreds of years, 165 years, and it's all happening right now. So put your seatbelt on.
Is that an opportunistic writer? Is that just what it could be? Is it somebody who's just kind of taking an opportunity to try to find some similarities between what's going on in the world now and what's...
Don't you love when you see the doctor talking about an amazing new find and how good it is for you, and you start to read about it, and at the end of the day they're selling a product, right? You got to question that. I don't know. I mean, these are factual things. If you look back in time and you place them, I mean, could be. I don't see what they're selling. I mean, it's all factual according to where the planets are, and I don't know. I took a Claritin D today, so I'm all cracked out, man. I can't really feel anything.
Hey, can we take a minute and talk about last week's episode?
You want to talk about my knee?
I want to definitely find out what's going on with your knee. I know you had
I was kidding.
Doctor's appointment,
I had the surgeon.
I want an update too. Yeah, but
Paula Roth.
let's talk about last week's episode.
I had a long conversation with her after because I was going to try to bring her in as a writer on this TV show that's going on. She's like, no.
She's done.
Thanks for thinking of me, but I hate writing.
You can't afford her.
No, that's not true. It's not me. I'm not producing it. The people can't afford it. There's not enough money in the world to get her to do it. She's retired from writing. But go ahead. I don't know where you're going with this.
That's what I mean. You can't afford her.
Yeah. Wait, hang on, guys. Wait a second. Mary Sawchuck here, celebrity magician. Did somebody say afford me? Because I'm purchasable. I will do anything for money. In fact, I started a landscaping company, right? So I'm not doing magic and comedy at the Stratosphere. I actually do landscaping. It's all for money because I love wealth. I told Michael that a couple of weeks ago at the Marco Tool Show. I like wealth, is what he said. Now, Michael kind of frowned at that, but whatever. It's what it is. So Murray Sawchuck, celebrity magician. Kevin, continue with the Paula Roth story.
I just wanted to say that I think that was a really great episode.
I agree. Well, you brought on a guest. She runs the backstage for Mark. She's the production manager, I think, and so stage manager, and she was a lot of fun to talk to backstage. And you looked at me, you're like, hey, we should have her as a guest. And her stories and the history, and the insight to the back, behind the scenes of these these TV shows that we're all familiar with. So
priceless.
Good
right?
on you. Yeah, good on you for landing her as a guest.
That's the producer in me. I see opportunities like that.
Oh yeah, you're a producer.
Yeah, that's the producer in me.
Yeah,
so tell me, bring me up to speed. You were on a mountain in Utah, and you fell off of the ski lift.
I spent an hour and a half.
Here you
on the
are
phone.
at the surgeon, right?
I spent an hour and a half on the phone today with my insurance company and with the surgical center, and I don't have the surgical benefit, so it's out-of-pocket cash surgery.
For surgery.
Yeah, and I could upgrade my plan, and my insurance ends up being a couple $1,000s a month. Does it make sense? And so I'm waiting. So I got the doctor's price, the surgeon's price. I'm waiting to hear about the facility cost and the anesthesiologist cost. Is that how you say that? Anesthesiologist?
Anesthesiologist. How much does the surgery cost?
About $4,000 for the doctor.
That's great.
Well, so I have this accident plan in my insurance, so it's going to cover part of that piece, but doesn't cover the facility or the anesthesiologist. So I need to figure those two pieces.
Well, those
out.
are the two cheap pieces.
No, I don't think so. I think the facility's pretty high.
I'm joking.
Yeah, and then I've got many months of physical therapy, so this is going to be very costly. I'm kind of like, and not only that, but I'm not in pain anymore. Like the MCL sprain, right, which was painful, is healing, and I don't have the pain. So now I'm thinking I made a funny mistake yesterday, and this is some advice for anybody getting ready to have surgery. I watched a detailed video of a surgeon doing the actual surgery that I'm about to do. I don't recommend anybody do that. I mean, it lit me up. They treat you like it's a car. Like they're just so, matter of fact, and boom, bada bing, they're shoving cameras and poles and strings and all kinds of shit in there. It's like, oh, so Patrick says that the anesthesiologist is the most expensive part. Thank you, doctor. So when you watch the video, it's brutal, dude. Brutal. And it scared me. And I'm like, hey, do I really? You know how much I love to ski, right? I've shared that with you. It's one of my happy places. I'm like,
it's all you talk about whenever you call me.
Well, this time of year, ski season. And I thought to myself, you know what? Do I really enjoy skiing that much? Like, maybe I'm good. That's how I felt after watching the video. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm scheduled for pre-op on April 7th. And then the surgery on April 9th at this point. So we'll see. I'm going to have to sell some of these guitars to pay for the surgery. And got a Les Paul for sale. Anybody?
Wow.
I'll get the Docksiders to sign it.
Interesting new development today, huh? This is that insurance you wanted me to call too at that one point.
It's got emergency insurance in it. Like you end up in the hospital and you got emergency surgery. It's in there, but they're saying, I love insurance companies. You don't need an ACL because I can walk. They don't care if I'm going to go skiing again or if I want to. I could make it more about my profession. You've seen me play the electric show. I run around. I'm a physical performer, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, your show should be called. Your show should be part of the Cirque.
Now it's really reckless, right?
It
Because
should
I
be
have a
part of the
broken knee.
Cirque shows.
Oh yeah, man. Interesting. The surgeon, they do all the Cirque people. These guys, the doctor and the surgeon, they do the nights. You know, the surgeon is also he was the doctor for the U.S. ski team. So yeah, I mean, I trust these guys, you know, but we'll see. Funny enough, the gal from the insurance company was so sweet from Texas. Her name was Diamond, and she was like, you know,
Is it politically correct to call a woman a gal now?
whatever, whatever. So she told me about she had the same surgery back in 2018, and she was just adamant about, you know, just you got to do it, and it's the best sleep you're ever going to get. I heard that about the colonoscopy too, best sleep you ever get. But she could do anything different than the first time. Do not phone in the physical therapy. She goes, fight through it, work hard on it. So, you know, is Chadwick early? Anita, what are you doing? Kevin's going to see Chadwick, and he's not leaving our podcast.
Yeah,
Hey, Brian Greenfarb.
Chadwick starts at 7:00 early.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Our friend, is best wishes on your reassignment.
We got Brian Greenfarb, which is an interesting. Shapiro. Let's get. That's nice. I'm not sure if he's hitting on me or what. What about Brian? No, that's the other Brian. Where's the other Brian? Put the other one up. Put him up. Where's he at? Yeah. So
He's back in the hospital, I think.
Well, I mean, look at this guy, you know, open heart, crack in the chest, the whole thing. I'm talking about just a little knee, but if you watch these surgeons and what they do, it's going to take you right out, man, right out. So, and here's the drag too, 19 years of sobriety. I got to take narcotics. I said to the lady, I go, hey, will Advil get me through this? She goes, oh, no Advil. No, you're going to need narcotics. So I get to do heroin. This is fun. Did admit, yeah. Really, Mark? This is a guy who has a real podcast, talking about the world and politics, and got his head up Trump's ass, which is great. I love that look on him. But you know, he wants me to take my clothes off. If it makes you feel any better, Kevin has something to say to you about his attire right now. Tell him what you're doing.
What am I doing?
How do you do your podcast?
No pants.
Kevin Sinker's not wearing any pants. So
never have, never will.
There you
55
go.
episodes. Hey, this is double nickels today. 55 episodes with 3 people following us. We have no desire. Listen, this is my wife. She's commenting right now. She's true. She had a C-section and only took Advil. I was there. That woman. Then again, Michael, you're not built out of the same iron that
women have a different thing with pain. You know, they're built for it. I'm not. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Okay, I got a Reckless in Vegas rehearsal. You're going to see Chadwick. Is Aaron going to go with you to both shows? Is she?
No, I'm going tonight with one of my Docksider friends, Mr. Derek Ferguson. He's joining me to Chadwick's show.
Derek, your singer, the guy that sings with you.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out tonight. It's gonna be fun.
I saw him at Monday Star.
Hey, Jeff, absolutely. I did not wear pants when I did your podcast either. It's my thing, you know. You're seen from the waist or some at this point the belly up. And
I like Jeff.
I don't
Jeff's
wear podcasts.
Jeff's a good dude. Yeah, he's got
what
a
great
good podcast.
Did you ever do his podcast?
I did. Yeah, I did it before you to be competitive about it. Not that we're competitive, but
sounds like my friend Michael Shapiro is back. All of a sudden, hold on. I got a banner for this.
Michael's being a bit of a dick. I
like it. Just a bit.
I like it. Mark Messina says, "What are pants?" That's fantastic.
That's my dude.
Hey, Mark. By the way, on YouTube, we just hit 1 million subscribers. So take this on YouTube and check it out. Go, please subscribe. We'll be back on Tuesday next week, right? Right?
Yep. Froggy Derek is the guy with the porn stash. We'll be back next week. Hey, we got some new production. I don't know if you saw this, but we've got a new end video.
Let's see what you got. But before you do that, so never mind. I think we're sold out. Never mind. Looking forward to the show on the 29th. I don't think there's any more room. Doing that show, and then I'm doing the PBS show on the 4th, and that's it.
I still can't believe the same people are coming back to see the same fucking show at your.
Well, I'm different. I have a broken knee, so that should be entertaining. I'm going to play piano.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm going to play piano.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you would as a piano player. Yeah,
I would. Yeah,
how come you don't play piano on stage?
There's no room for a piano
It
player. on
scares
stage.
me. You
My
did
head,
you-
my head takes up too much space.
yeah, but wait a minute. When you did that show at M for who was the artist?
My body takes up too much space.
Who's the artist you played? Kind of a big artist you played piano for. They backlined the gear. You walked up
Tiffany.
and played. Tiffany. Yeah. What's Tiffany's last name? Just kidding.
Tiffany.
Anyway,